You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Bremen Motor Cars in West Palm and Jupiter. A world-class experience. Visit BremenBMW.com. And by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Monday. Kevin here.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it's good to be back, man. It's good to see what's going on here. Got to check out a little bit of the show on Friday. Unfortunately, I had to
you were off on assignment, apparently.
Yeah, I had to do some assignment, so I wasn't able to be here with you lads.
How did it sound?
Well, you know, I was tuning in. I just wanted to see exactly what happened, and I'm like, okay, I guess Diener's going to be running the ship here.
Sure.
And Ricky Bobby's in. You guys invited another Jordan in, which, by the way, do we have just like Jordans just roaming the hall? Guys, girls, everybody around here is named Jordan. Is that what it is?
Yeah. I think it's like a requirement. You have to have a certain amount of Jordans per radio station.
Okay, yeah. So we
FCC
fit the quota
thing,
here.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this show, we got 2 Jordans on top of it. So it's like, I was like, just the confusion there alone. It's just insane. And then as I was listening in, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Just it's hard to hear. I was like, what's going on here? I could hear Diener fine. Diener was just coming through loud and clear on the show on Friday. But
of course.
You'll listen here. It was kind of like a hierarchy. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Here's an actual clip of the show from Friday.
They used to have the draft at Radio City Music Hall for years.
It used to be in our backyard for a very long time. So
What?
we used to dominate the picks. And it just seems like we're never happy with whatever we got.
I can't. That was, and I'm like going. So I'm listening to this. I'm like, so is Diener just is he big leaguing everybody on the show? Like he's
I mean, I'll be honest, man. I was yelling 90% of the time, so.
You were very loud. You were projecting.
I was projecting as much as possible because I knew this dude was trying to take the whole ship by himself.
Yeah, but even your volume, even you, I mean, you heard Diener loud and clear. I mean, everything Diener said was just, man, just cut through.
It was weird. Like there was he had like some angel sounds effects, like bells in the background. I don't know what was going on. It was very strange.
I understand everybody's like waving from the other studio, like we can't hear anyone.
I wasn't paying attention.
Of course he wasn't. Of course he wasn't. Why would he pay attention?
He was like, well, this show sounds great.
It sounds amazing. I'm so
amazing.
excited for how great this show is.
I really thought it was killing it.
Can't wait to get
did.
the air checks from this one.
I love it. He's just big leaguing everybody around here. All right, well, we got a lot of stuff to get to here today on Kevin's Other Show. Going to be talking a little bit about the NBA playoffs. A lot going on there. We got some baseball win streaks, both Yankees and the Marlins. Maybe we can crack into that a little bit, but a lot of draft talk. The interesting stuff that stood out to you guys that was absolutely fascinating. There was a lot of great awkward TV that came out of the whole thing.
Oh, it's so good. I think that's probably some of the best parts, really, is just the awkward television.
Yeah, there were a few. That was the stuff that I really thoroughly enjoyed. What was your favorite awkward moment from the NFL draft from over the weekend? A couple of the ones that I liked, and I knew this was not going to go well because there's kind of like a rule in showbiz where you don't ever want to work with kids, animals, and strippers. There's 3 things.
Are we sure about that third one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust
Animals?
me.
I mean,
yeah. No, the strippers is the third
strippers.
thing.
Oh, my
yeah.
bad.
If you ever try to work with a stripper, they're very difficult. In fact, they might be as difficult. They never show up on time.
They're always naked.
Yes. The last time I did something with a stripper, she apparently decided to smoke crack on the set, and so we had some other issues. So, yeah, so you never know what you're going to get. That's why I say, I mean, I never worked with a kid that smoked crack or an animal.
No,
so
fair.
that is an added thing that you only get when you work with a stripper.
So with the
at
animals
least in my
smoke crack?
experience. No, no, animals not smoking crack. It's stripper.
You got to make sure.
Stripper doing the crack.
So you're speaking from experience.
Yes, I do. Yeah. So I knew when Tampa Bay was talking about this great idea, they're going to work with this dang parrot that was going to be delivering one of their picks. I'm like going, okay, well, I couldn't really figure out exactly how it was going to happen. And here's kind of the whole buildup. And then I thought, well, I mean, because parrots can talk, but is the parrot going to be able to, like, say the draft pick's name? I'm like, that's because parrots don't work that way.
Yeah.
You got to work on a parrot. I remember one time a parrot sat for a friend of mine, and he had one of those African grays.
It sounds like a nightmare.
Well, and it was because I'm horrified of birds.
Oh,
Really?
well, why the hell would you say yes to that?
Because he had no one else, and I was producing his show, and so I felt obligated, and so here I am.
Reminds me of Ace Ventura when he had to get the bat and he's afraid of bats.
Oh, yeah. And everything was great until the bird gets out, and then these things like they know how creepy they are, and they kind of stalk you. So the one thing I did with this bird, I worked the entire week, and I taught it. If you remember an old TV show, the Archie Bunker theme, all the way Glenn Miller played.
Yeah.
And so I taught this bird. Yeah, so I taught this parrot in the course of a week how to sing the Archie Bunker theme, and so when my friend came back, that's all the bird would sing.
Oh, that's amazing.
He called me, and the bird
sabotaged the guy.
15 years later, he's like, that damn bird still sings the Archie Bunker theme like every hour on the hour. He's like, it's the most aggravating. You ruined my bird.
And the whole thing sounds like Edith.
It sounds like it's Bunker, yeah. So it's a great little trick. But I knew how much training it took to get a parrot to talk. So I'm like, it's not going to get the whole thing down. Like, going, well, maybe the parrot will fly in and it'll be carrying the draft pick. That's kind of dramatic. That's kind of awesome. So here they were in the NFL draft, kind of leading up to what Tampa Bay was going to do with their pick.
With the 117th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select.
And it's just this woman on the pirate ship in Tampa that simply steps forward, and she's got a bird sitting on her shoulder. And I'm like, is the bird going to hand it to her, read it? Is the bird going to do something? And no, the bird just sits there and she just reads it.
Jordan Whitehead, defensive back from Pittsburgh.
The video is so great because there's 7 people on that boat.
And it almost sounded like it was the parrot, but I don't know if it was the parrot actually making that noise. I think someone knew that the parrot totally blew its cue, and I think someone tried to fake a parrot noise.
They tried to cover?
I don't think this is actually the parrot. Does this sound like a real parrot or a human trying to act like a parrot?
Jordan Whitehead, defensive back from Pittsburgh.
That's a human. Yeah. Someone knew the parrot blew. Yeah. Someone faked a parrot sound because they knew how awful this whole thing was. They're like, oh, this thing just completely failed.
Jeez.
It was absolutely awful.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this big grandiose thing flying from the top of the stadium down to the...
When it first started, I thought like they had trained this parrot somehow. They knew ahead of time and it was going to be just amazing. I was like, you're going to pick, and I thought that's what it was going to be. Then I'm like, no, that's not realistic. I'm like, the bird's going to fly in. And then, no, I realized that wasn't going to happen. So I'm like, well, what is this thing going to do? And when it just sat there, they tried to say the parrot was supposed to hand the card to the woman.
Yeah,
and
that was the other option.
And then the parrot was supposed to say, go box. And apparently it didn't even do that.
Wow.
That's why you don't work with animals, kids, or strippers. And I got to tell you, honestly, for Tampa Bay, they've got a lot of great strip clubs there. Maybe the next time they should work with a stripper and take the chance that she might smoke crack on national TV during the NFL draft.
Just do what
That's
you
a
gotta
chance
do.
you got to take because you're going to have better luck with one of the Tampa strippers than you are with that damn parrot.
Honestly, I've never heard wiser words.
Thank you.
I think that's fair. And now I'm so disappointed, man. I was really, when we brought this up last week, I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. The parrot's going to come up and say the draft pick, and nothing like that happened. I mean, it was just really sad.
Yeah.
And maybe just next time bring a pole in, like you're saying, just have the stripper come down on the pole and she's holding the envelope between her legs or something.
That's you know what? Higher
see?
ratings. Yeah.
She's and it just pops out.
That sound effect was perfect.
So that I thought was really amazing. That was a big highlight for me. I thought that was awesome. I thought David Akers just going full scorched earth
What did
in
he
Dallas.
do?
He just went off. I mean, it was great. He knew it because it's like, here he is repping the Eagles. Your big rival is the Cowboys. He's in Dallas, and he knows that he's not going to be greeted well. And so he just comes out and just brings it, man.
NFC East champs, divisional champs, NFC champs.
Listen to the boos.
And world champs.
Jesus.
He brought it.
World champs. Hey, Dallas, the last time you were in the Super Bowl, these draft picks weren't born.
I'm like, is this football or professional wrestling? I mean, it's like a page out of the WWE, David Akers. I'm like, good for you, man. He brought it. He knew what he was going to get, and he gave it right back to him.
Yeah, he went bananas.
Oh, I thought that was a highlight. I thought that was fantastic.
I think it was my favorite clip from the weekend, hands down.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
You didn't see that kind of energy from anybody.
No, no. He came right out and he said he didn't care. It was like he was playing the perfect heel, man. He
really was.
He was just out there. He was like, this is my moment. I know what I'm gonna get. I don't care. I'm gonna lay it out, baby.
What's funny is that he really went after Dallas and he got worse. I mean, he got less boos than Roger Goodell did.
You're right. You're right.
Like
It still
Roger
wasn't as
Goodell,
loud.
when
Yeah.
he first walked out on the stage, it was like it was incredible how much the boos were.
Well, and he tried to pat his hand too. He's got all these like Cowboys
He comes
legends,
out with all those
and they're
Cowboys.
still getting booed. And he had the he had the joke ready. He was like, "Oh, I can't believe you boo these guys."
Yeah, is that you these guys too?
Some other great moments from the draft and just from the weekend altogether that went down. I thought everything that happened with Shaquem Griffin was just absolutely
was cool.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That was all great. Having him with his brother on there, and they're now going to be playing together in Seattle, and the inspiration. And then they showed a video that was going viral of a girl that was missing an arm. She's in a UCF cheerleader outfit. She is like, "Hey, Shaquem, you're an inspiration to me." And then she does like a big old cartwheel, and they showed it to him. And you're like, I mean, it goes all the way from David Akers to, a bird that doesn't talk to, this. I mean, it's just
Thank God they had this, because it was
Yeah.
really going downhill prior to
they
that.
needed something. Yeah, that really kind of like bailed them out.
I mean, the draft really ran kind of like the gamut of emotions, didn't it?
It
You
did.
laugh, you cry,
It
get
touched
angry.
on it all. I
good.
thought it was really good. And it even got a little bit into the disgusting. One of the lowlights. I mean, come on, man. In Cleveland, I guess you don't have a lot going on. And this dude at ESPN Radio in Cleveland, he's on the radio there. He's so sure that Baker Mayfield is not going to be the #1 pick that he pulls Philadelphia Eagles Insano fan plan out of his bag and says, if they pick Baker Mayfield with the #1 pick, I'm so confident they won't all eat horse poop. Like,
Well-
why of everything you could possibly do, why does that even come up? Why
That's
do you
the
think
one.
this is something that I'm going to do? This is
Well-
exactly what he did. So here is the radio host. He apparently made this big announcement over the draft.
I have an announcement to make. I will eat the poop live on the air.
Yes.
And you love that there's 5 people clapping.
Did you hear it, the
because they're
snattering?
like,
Yes.
do we really applaud? You're going to eat horse
I
crap.
will eat the poop.
Yay.
It's like, how do you react to that? Good for you?
Yeah.
It's like a major announcement for him.
What's this uninspiring crowd?
I have an announcement to make. I will eat the poop live on the air.
Yes.
I think he's
3
thinking he's going to be
claps.
like, yeah! You were going to show them that Cleveland is not. Wait a minute.
Oh.
We're going to show them that Cleveland is actually worse than they all thought.
There's like 4 people clapping. There's probably like 7 people there in general.
Yeah.
But all right, well, I mean, enjoy the poop, I guess.
I hope it goes well. I really do.
And the other amazing moment that I liked from the NFL draft from over the weekend was, boom, they whisked Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward, their top 2 picks in the first round, right off to Cleveland. Sorry, guys. And they take them to an Indians game where they both simultaneously throw out the first pitch, and both of them sucked.
Yeah.
Especially Baker. How can you be an athletic quarterback and you can't throw a baseball?
That's
and
not a
they
good
weren't even
sign.
like on the mound, like hardly. It was like,
Oh, no.
Yeah, they were like halfway in between.
and they couldn't even get it to
Oh,
the glove.
this is a bad omen.
Here's the reaction of the announcer. Oh, no, this is the prank call. This is Baker's first pitch here.
Oh, they'll be just fine.
Okay.
A short hop.
It's short hop. Like, the other one was high. It was just pretty disastrous. There you go. Your first experience with Baker Mayfield. So,
Starting off well.
what do you think about the Dolphins draft? We'll break down everybody's ridiculous grades, and it just goes to show you how ungreat of a science this is. It's all over the map. Who said what? We'll talk about it next.
Be part of the show on Twitter at 640 The Hurricane, hashtag Kevin's Other Show.
Kevin, what's happening?
You know what? He's not in control of the microphones. He's in control of the music. He's going to find a way to throw something at you.
I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
makes me move
He did this
right
to us
now.
on Friday, too. He's playing all these, like, club hits. I'm like, we're supposed to be, like, edgy, like, man music.
Now I'm feeling it.
He played, like, I don't know, like Zed and stuff on.
Is that also the shortest loop to a song ever?
That's correct. It's about 15 seconds.
It's
Oh,
a-
wait, no, wait. Here's a different part.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
I was going to say, I think he just looped 10 seconds of this stuff and it's just repeating itself.
For about 5 minutes.
All right. Well, the Dolphins draft, what did you think about how they did? First round seemed to go really well, man. Everybody was riding high. probably would have had a different take on Friday than what the rest of the weekend was. And I think a lot of people just didn't know what to say. I mean, I even put up a Twitter poll, just say, okay, what would you say is your Miami Dolphins post-draft mood? And it was all over the board. 31% of the people said they were happy, 33% said they were puzzled, and 36% are angry.
I wouldn't go as far to say angry. I mean, for me personally,
What did you expect them to do?
it is kind of split down the middle.
Hopefully
right?
do something good, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, they had their first pick is great. Like, Minkah Fitzpatrick is a great first pick.
No, I'm fine with it.
Nobody could really hate on it.
I mean, past that, I mean, it's kind of whiffy.
Here's why I was fine with Minkah Fitzpatrick being the pick, and I would vote puzzled. I think actually your Twitter poll included the emojis, so
Yeah,
I
it
would
did.
have voted for the emoji wearing the little monocle.
Yeah, we're
glass.
just like, you're kind of like pondering, like, what do we do here?
Yes, that was me. That was my reaction because I was fine with Minkah because I figured, okay, well, look, the 4 quarterbacks are gone.
Mm-hmm.
You knew they weren't going to go with Jackson, and you figure, okay, well, now you get the best defender. They felt that was Fitzpatrick, which is fine. I'm good with that. They needed that position. And then I thought, okay, they can still get Mason Rudolph or somebody else, a different quarterback. Where's the quarterback? They never drafted a quarterback, so that's what's making me kind of scratch my head. There's no quarterback, defensive tackle.
Okay.
Where are they?
Here is the argument that they don't need a quarterback.
Oh, Rage.
They go on to say we were not going to reach for any player. After the first 5, there was an order and timing hurt them. So they say that basically, hey, we feel good. We think that David Fales and Brock Osweiler have their best days ahead of them.
That was an actual sentence they spoke.
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure.
I love these guys.
Was that Tannenbaum? Was that your guy, Ricky?
Yeah, he said
Well, my guy.
That's Tannenbaum, yeah.
Buzz off. That's your guy now.
I don't want him. I never wanted him. He's a Jet. He was your guy, and now he's coming down here and infecting us with that Jets attitude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa there, bro. I'm not saying anything about you. You better calm down.
The grades all over the place. Mel Kiper gave the Dolphins a C+. That was tied with 5 others for his lowest grade. So when you get all jacked about a C+, it put them in the lowest category for Mel Kiper. Todd McShay loved it. In fact, he thought that Jerome Baker, the 3rd overall pick that the Dolphins made, was their best one. I've seen the guy. I'm a Ohio State guy. He's very athletic. He's the dude that had the pick 6 on Baker Mayfield when they played at Oklahoma. And he is. I mean, they definitely got faster and they're physical. So he's good at that kind of stuff. There were times like in Buckeye games, like he seemed to either rise to the occasion or you're like going, hey, was Jerome Baker in this game? That was the one thing I noticed from him, just watching a lot of them. NFL draft bites, they gave Miami a flat-out F.
Oh, that's not good.
Omar Kelly from the Sun Sentinel gave him a C+, and DraftWire gave the Dolphins a B+. But, I mean, how exact is this science? I mean, it's just people,
I mean, the
it's
fact that you
opinion.
can have an F and a B+.
Right.
It just goes to show you that, I mean, people don't know. I mean, as we were breaking down just looking at the first round, the top 10 picks, and I was just looking at the accuracy of your Mel Kipers and your Todd McShays and your everybody else and what they have for their mock drafts. The ones that were good got 40% of the picks right, and that's in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
They got maybe 4 out of the 10 right. So and that's only the first 10. So they don't know who's going to be picked. They don't know how anybody's going to perform. When I was watching a special on Draft Bus from over the weekend, you just don't even know.
But did anybody have Cleveland taking Denzel Ward?
That
Did
was
any
no,
draft for it? Because I
no.
feel like that's what threw
No.
everything off.
And I guess to them, that's a personal decision. They felt like it was a better need. They probably felt like it brings in the fan base a little bit more to go with that. But yeah, everybody thought that wasn't the right pick to go with right there.
I mean, everybody was thinking they would go, another defender, I guess, right? Maybe somebody like
the dude from NC State.
Derwin James or
Who at
or
4?
Chubb. I mean, somebody like that.
Everybody thought
Probably
it would be Chubb. Yeah.
Yeah. And they kind of said that probably was it. But they said, well, we just felt like we had a greater need, in our secondary. And so that's why they went with Denzel Ward.
And that's the annoying thing about what the Dolphins did. I don't hate who they drafted. So, I mean, they got linebackers. They needed that. They got it secondary. They got even some tight ends and some running backs. They needed all that. But it's just that they needed like 11 or 12 picks in this draft to actually fill the holes that need to be filled because they have that many holes right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why they just didn't spread it out a little bit. Why are you taking 2 running backs and 2 tight ends? You don't think it's smart to maybe take one of the quarterbacks or defensive tackles to plug it in?
Yeah, I don't understand, what they did with their running back pick. I mean, when I really read a little bit more into the Kalen Ballage from Arizona State, this guy's numbers are atrocious.
It's just fantastic.
I mean, atrocious. I don't know. I mean, some people, and like I said, even with him, it was all over the board. Some people are like going, that's the steal of the draft. I'm like, what?
What?
So, you just sit back and look at this stuff. I think the ultimate thing is nobody knows.
Nobody does. And
Nobody
it's just,
has any idea.
I think that the draft grade thing has always been completely overblown and stupid. And it's just something that people really write because, their editors are telling them to write it. But it means nothing.
But I thought this did sum it up. And I thought that this was interesting. On Twitter, I saw this post. It said the difference between the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots is here in a nutshell. You're going to see what happened. Miami signed 32-year-old Danny Amendola for 2 years, $12 million. New England replaces Amendola with the younger version using a 6th-round pick. And how discouraging is that? That they get Braxton Berrios from the Canes. And it's just kind of like that 80s movie where the hot chick, your hot girlfriend, rides off into the sunset with the bully. And you're just like, really? And here we are left, and the movie ends sad, and you're pathetic, and you're all by yourself.
Walking alone in the rain. It's dark out.
That's pretty much it.
That's the Dolphins.
That's really kind of the end of it.
Yeah, Dolphins. But I mean, like, what did we say when they first picked him up? It's like, oh, this was good. About 4 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're drafting and picking up players in a time machine, I believe.
I'm glad.
That's about it.
I'm glad you brought up Berrios because my head just about fell off when I saw that the Patriots had drafted him.
I think the really good franchises, they actually win in the 6th round.
Yeah.
I know you may think it's like, but what a huge win. Everybody who saw that's like going, look at that. Look at what they did. And I think all Dolphins fans were like that, smack your forehead like, look at what we did and look at that little
The most amazing thing is that Berrios was there for them.
Yeah.
The Patriots drafted Berrios a few picks after Miami drafted whoever it was that they got. Was it the kicker? Is that when they drafted the kicker? They drafted a kicker.
Sanders, yeah. That was 7th round. I think it was maybe after Cornell Armstrong, the cornerback from Southern Miss. I think. Maybe not, though. Because they went him, and then they went linebacker from Ohio, Quentin Poling, and then Jason Sanders, the kicker from New Mexico, is the final pick they made.
You know what's really cool about that kicker pick, though? He's going to be going against this kid. He's an undrafted free agent, Greg Joseph, out of FAU. So it's going to be this guy who's 25 of 35 in his college career as a kicker. Going against an FAU kid to try and beat him out for his job.
My eye is literally twitching right now because I just remember they drafted a kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just, and you saw that Berrios trade, and that was like where you're just like, gosh. And then right about that time, I saw this quote come up. Greer and Tannenbaum, they're the two guys pretty much responsible for the Dolphins draft. He's like going off saying, Tannenbaum, we all call him Trader Mike. He said that, that teams they talked to this weekend were nervous that Tannenbaum was going to get one over on him. When has Tannenbaum gotten one over on anybody?
No one.
I
mean,
never. I
see
don't think
that
it's ever
quote,
happened.
right as they're clearly got schooled with the whole Berrios thing. You see that quote, you're like going, what? And every comment was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's pretty. With Berrios going to the Patriots is such a good move for the Patriots and for him too, because they use that slot position so much.
I know.
Once Julian Edelman starts to come down,
Yeah.
Braxton Berrios is going to be right there to take that spot. So
Absolutely.
that's a perfect spot for him. And honestly, the slot receiver is not something that the Dolphins use readily, anyways, because they're always trying to get out of large downs.
Yeah.
So they're not throwing dink and dunk. They're always going over 6-7 yards. So they're not trying to get a couple here and there.
Well, the difference on the two franchises, Vegas odds makers have the Dolphins finishing the 2018 season with 6 wins.
Nice.
6 wins. That's only higher than the Cleveland Browns and Arizona Cardinals. And I tell you, if the Browns start winning, Miami is the new Cleveland.
They could be.
In the NFL, Miami will be the new Cleveland when it comes to the last time they've won a playoff game, done anything. Somebody tweeted at us, said, my kid has gone through elementary, middle, and high school and is now like a senior in college since the Dolphins won a playoff game. It just goes to show you, yeah. And they got the Patriots #1 with 11 wins. They're projected to have the best record.
What else is there?
I think the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game, I was like a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I'm
horrible.
telling you, Cleveland starts winning this year. You're gonna
Those
be like,
were the days.
where's that parrot when you need it? Yeah. Coming up here in a couple minutes, LeBron exhausted with another amazing game last night. And we're going to do a little bit of a different LeBron comparison with Michael Jordan. It's not going to be at all basketball related.
I was going to say, I was about to jump over this console.
Who's had a greater off-the-court career, LeBron or Jordan, coming up next?
Yep, he's here too. It's Kevin's Other Show, right here on 640 The Hurricane.
How about that LeBron performance yesterday?
Dude is amazing. He's been doing it for so long now.
I just don't understand how he keeps doing it. He can't be human.
It's unbelievable. I mean, he did obviously talk about how fatigued he was after the game yesterday. He played 43 minutes yesterday in his 15th year in the league, which is just unbelievable. I mean, we talked about how many minutes D-Wade could get and how he could hold. Pretty much the same amount of years in the league, and look at the wear and tear that LeBron can still put on his body. Game after game, he comes out, drops 45 points.
I mean, it's a little over a point a minute. That's incredible.
Yeah.
At his age, in this stage of his career, I mean, 10 years now, obviously he's been in the league for 15, but it's been about 10 years of just steady, absolute greatness.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, and you put the wear and tear, he played all 82 regular season games.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
First time he's done that in his entire career. So, I mean, arguably, he's putting more wear and tear on his body, and he's just taking the pounding and just going. He's still going.
I think it's more of a result of where the team is at now, because, I mean, to have to do that, to have to play the amount of minutes and the amount of points he's putting up, and if you look at the box score, it's like nobody even came close to him. So he's putting the whole team on his back. At his age, he's not going to be able to make it through into the finals. Because 7 games with Indiana, and Indiana had him on the ropes a couple times.
Yeah, he ended the game yesterday saying, I'm burnt right now. I'm not thinking about Toronto right now until tomorrow. I'm ready to go home. Can we? I'm tired. I want to go home. And he's only got 48 hours to turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got to go again. I mean, that's not a lot. I mean, some of these other teams have had, a couple more days off than LeBron. What's he going to look like tomorrow night when they take on Toronto?
I don't believe him. I think he's playing possum. Yeah, he's tired, but he knows that Toronto. I'm going to throw out
the man not tired?
Theory.
I believe
he's tired.
him.
So
he's tired.
So you think that this is a LeBron mind game? He's trying to psych out Toronto, thinking there's no way LeBron's going to have anything in the tank.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean,
psyching him out, huh?
He's tired. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely tired. You're exhausted after a game like that. But a guy like LeBron isn't stupid when it comes to saying what he says in public for the competitors to hear. I'm telling you, he's going to come out in that game.
Toronto's not going to beat him, first of all. Let's get that straight. Toronto's not going to beat the Cavaliers. Toronto is subpar. They almost got beat by the Wizards.
Number 1 seed.
The Wizards have the worst chemistry in all of the NBA, and for some odd reason, because they're in the crap-ass Eastern Conference, they were able to make it into the 8th seed.
That's the conference that he play in. Okay?
I know. It's the conference the Knicks play in, too, and look where both of them are. Not in the playoffs.
Do you think that LeBron needs a short series here?
He does.
Has any
if they
hope?
go to 6 or 7, that Philly, because
you still got one more. Yeah, and then you got to take on a very young, athletic.
Well, that's if Philly beats Boston.
We're assuming.
Yes, also. So, but I don't know. I mean, Philly is pretty insane.
They should beat Boston.
I would imagine them to beat Boston, just like I would imagine the Cavs to beat Toronto. Now, will it be a short series? That I don't know. But if it goes to 6 games with Toronto, let's say they beat them in 6, that's a lot of wear and tear before the finals.
That series is going at least 6 games. They might have 2 7-game series on their hands back to back.
And the Western Conference, they're juggernauts out there. Yes. That's a totally different monster you're playing with.
How do you think LeBron feels right now going through a 7-game series against the Pacers?
Against Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, against Victor Oladipo. Now having to go against the Raptors, knowing he would still have to beat the Celtics or the Sixers, and then he looks in the West and sees Houston and Golden State sitting there. That's rough.
It's like he's not human.
It's rough.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he's like some type of alien being, or he's doing stuff.
I don't know how he does it.
Well, it's an interesting stat.
What?
Nothing.
For the 20th time, LeBron led his team in points, assists, and rebounds in a playoff series. To let you know how impressive that is, Michael Jordan did this one time.
Aha, so he is the greatest ever.
Well, he's carrying his team more than Michael Jordan ever had to.
Yeah, you ever see Michael Jordan flop? That bad?
No.
Oh, no, wait. No, he didn't flop. Why? Because he was actually getting punched in the face.
It's a good point.
Yeah, even the announcers are calling out LeBron.
And a foul's going to go against Bogdanovich, he's a little frustrated as he picks up his third.
Oh, that's Mike Breen, too.
That's a flop.
That's Van Gundy.
That's a flop.
I love Van Gundy.
That's a flop.
That's a flop.
I mean, it was so obvious, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he
Well, he did it with
silly.
Lance Stevenson, too.
Yes.
Lance Stevenson came up on top of him, and he literally just, like, pet his Chia Pet hair, and he went down. He was holding it, looking at it like he had blood on it. He's a psychopath. He's the best actor in the NBA.
It looks like something my 3-year-old would have done, where he just like falls down on purpose.
Dude, if Michael Jordan acted like that,
yeah,
you wouldn't even be talking about Michael Jordan. He would not be the brand he is if he wasn't such a hard ass like he was. And he literally got punched in the face. He was beaten on a daily basis. This man, nothing. You graze by him.
This is one of your arguments on why LeBron isn't the GOAT, is because of the way he plays the game and tries to manipulate fouls.
Please,
absolutely.
please bait him into this conversation.
No, absolutely. This is the reason why. Because a lot. Okay, so if you take career points, how many career points were taken off of foul shots?
Okay.
So now, how many fouls did he get off of flops?
Okay.
How many times was he be able to get to the basket because they took away the hand check rule?
Yeah, but you
now
can't
you look
fault
at
him
all
for the
those things
rules.
that's changed since '90s to now. And then you look at that, you look at those stats, there's a significant difference. And you'd start really separating Michael Jordan and LeBron, and damn it, why are we talking about this?
We baited him, we did it. We
got
did
right
it.
in.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the debate. LeBron versus Michael Jordan, but you can't use any basketball-related facts. It's everything. It's looking at everything else about the aura of these two men. We're not going to talk any numbers. We're not going to be breaking down hand check this, fouls, flopping, whatever it might be. Okay. First category here.
Yep.
Who wins? We'll keep score. Air Jordan versus LeBron's. Better shoe, better legacy. Who wins that battle?
I don't know anything about shoes.
I got to say, I think
LeBron's look nicer.
Okay.
Maybe.
But to me, I think the legacy of the Air Jordan, the fact that 30 years later, kids still covet these things.
Yes.
And the fact that, I mean, they don't even really, like, know anything about Michael Jordan playing. I mean, he's
just know
been
Air
out since,
Jordan.
what, like 2000? Yeah. They just know Air Jordan. So I think Air Jordan's beat LeBron's.
For sure. I'm with
Big
you.
time.
I
You
have
convinced
actual
me.
Jordans. I don't have LeBron's, so I'm going Jordans.
All right, so Michael Jordan
You're cool.
wins his first point. Okay, Michael Jordan endorsed Ballpark Franks.
Good hot dog.
LeBron James is part owner of Blaze Pizza.
Man, that's tough because I do love Blaze Pizza.
You've got to go pizza over a Ballpark Franks,
But,
right?
I mean, there's nothing better than poolside with the grill, couple hot dogs, little mustard, little relish.
See,
I don't
that's
know,
the
But
key.
if you had to
American
live,
pastime.
okay, what food could you have for the rest of your life? Every single meal. Could you eat a hot dog every single meal for the rest of your life, or could you eat pizza every single meal for the rest of your life? Pizza. There's no way.
Yeah,
you can't even
maybe.
debate
It
this.
is.
But I mean, like, Blaze Pizza is like kind of like this. It's like an Italian would lose their mind over pizza. Nobody's losing their mind over Ballpark hot dogs. Those are the best hot dogs out there.
I mean, ballpark is good, but see, the ballpark, it depends on what you gonna put on the hot dog, right? You can't just eat a plain hot dog. When it comes to the pizza, you can eat whatever pizza they give you. I'm going pizza.
All right, strong argument. Okay, it's tied one apiece here. All right,
is
Michael
hard.
Jordan has got Space Jam. LeBron has Trainwreck.
Oh my God, Space Jam, hands down.
Hands not even close.
Even though I will give you that LeBron's character, being LeBron, him in Trainwreck was very funny.
No, it was funny.
He was a
played
very
well.
good actor, and he's going to be a very good actor. Well,
But
he's already a very good actor right now in the NBA.
Clearly.
But when he becomes a full-on movie actor, he will be very good.
It's Space Jam, though.
It's
Okay,
hands down.
MJ versus LeBron. Michael Jordan played Double-A baseball. LeBron James was a high school tight end who was recruited by Notre Dame. Athletically, outside of basketball, what is more impressive? Keep in mind the Double-A team was owned by the owner of the Chicago Bulls, who just wanted to keep Jordan around, so maybe he could bring him out of retirement. And when he was done with that silly experiment, he put him back on the Bulls to win 3 more championships, which he did.
It's a damn good point.
Feel like he kind of patted his hand, didn't you?
Yeah, a
Getting
little bit.
recruited by Notre Dame, unsolicited, not knowing who he is, that's a lot more impressive athletically outside of your sport, right?
Yeah, he was younger though. I mean, that's a little more wear and tear on your body than baseball, but he was younger.
Yeah, but
I
Michael,
would probably say the tight end.
It's the tight end. Michael wasn't a very good baseball
he was
player.
a disgrace.
So LeBron could have been a legit NFL tight end. I mean, make no mistake about it. So it's
Yeah, he
All right.
still can.
he could.
Here
Is
we
it
go
2-2?
here. It's tied 2-2.
Oh, man, even with
Tiebreaker.
this.
Tiebreaker for
All
the
right.
GOAT outside of basketball.
All
Michael
right.
Jordan, third richest African American worth $1.65 billion. LeBron James, first black man to appear on Vogue, and was in Time Magazine's 100 most influential people of 2017. What's more impressive? Money or influence?
Well,
magazines.
I think the fact that Michael Jordan never got caught for betting on the game, maybe that's probably, I would probably put Michael Jordan above that because, I mean, even though LeBron James was really high on the whole, he was on Vogue and everything like that, but Michael Jordan did some seedy stuff and never got caught.
Hey now, Mr. Conspiracy.
Just saying.
And that puts you over LeBron?
That puts me over LeBron. He knows how to be able to get away with it.
Diener, your tiebreaker.
I'm going to go Jordan with this. Only because you said money or influence. I think Jordan had
more influence.
Yeah,
honestly.
He's got an NBA team.
Well, not only that, but what's the reason why LeBron wears number 23?
Yeah.
It's because
Jordan.
Bam.
Okay, there you go.
There it is. Jordan's the best.
Jordan's still the GOAT. I think with time it could change. Well,
stop flopping!
How about them Yanks, huh? And how do you love Shaquille O'Neal's gas rationale? I love this man.
Is it bad that it kind of makes sense to me?
Absolutely fantastic. Does it make sense? At least in Diener's mind it does. We'll discuss and tell you what it is next.
It's Derek Jeter's favorite sports show, just like Derek Jeter is Florida's favorite owner. Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Feeling it.
What up?
Little fantastic voyage.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Little Coolio, huh?
Not bad.
Okay.
Careful.
Well, do you agree with this? American Airlines Arena does not intimidate opposing fans or the players.
You don't say so.
I do not agree. Do not.
You do not agree?
No.
Because why? Because you showed up a couple times?
I've been there. It's very intimidating.
Okay.
Well, according to
the prices are intimidating.
A recap here from the Sixers' Ilyasova, he talked about what it was like playing in Miami and had this to say.
It's always tough play at the place. It's always crowded, and we have to come up with a lot of energy and edge in order to win the game. But when I was in Miami, gym was half empty. But I mean, those kind of things, we not expect. But when you play that, that arena is full, and really commitment fans.
Oh, really committed fans. You hear that
get
last
out of here,
part there?
Gym
Ilyasova.
was half empty.
You alien-looking
Since we
dude.
go to some Miami, there's no fun ass.
Guy looks like he was one of the aliens in Space Jam. Get out of here, Ilyasova.
Well, if you couldn't understand a word he said, basically, nobody's in Miami. And Boston, you feel it there. Even in the regular season, when you play that team, the arena's full. They're really committed fans. Basically just poo-pooing on anything Miami and saying you guys have awful fans, and it's not at all tough to play at AAA.
Basically agreeing with everything I've been saying about the attendance of the Miami games.
Yeah.
So you're both bums.
What?
Well, I mean, you got to look. They came in and won 2 games, right? Did they
did.
seem intimidated? Did they seem like that crowd was a factor in either one of those games?
No.
Listen, there's only so much a crowd can do. When you have a better, more athletic team, sometimes it just comes down to that. Okay?
I'm pretty sure not the Heat, but I'm pretty sure a lot of teams were complaining about what it was like to play in Oracle Arena. And then that question came up. When LeBron went to Cleveland and all of a sudden all the Miami fans hated LeBron, it was like, well, he's not going to do well in Oracle because Oracle's a loud arena. It gets really loud in there. It's kind of hard to concentrate. Oh, yeah, okay. But now it doesn't matter. Okay.
You know what? Listen.
I'm just trying to feel you out.
Listen.
On your ridiculous things that you're
The Miami Heat have 378 consecutive sellouts. That's the 8th most all time. So don't come here, Ilyasova and Ricky Bobby, both of you.
But you know you can actually
so intimidating.
But you know you can actually sell at a game, but nobody comes to sit down.
Yeah, because it's these scalpers. They buy up these tickets and they try and resell them. If they don't sell them, or if they go, hey, we got a movie ticket instead, let's go there.
Well, and I think
More
part of the
satisfying.
problem, I've even talked to people that like have season tickets and sit down low. They've got that Diamond Club that's underneath the arena, and all the people with any money, they sit in there and they get so wasted, like they forget there's a basketball game, and they don't care because money to them is nothing, and so they don't even go to their seats. They'll sit there and watch it at the bar at the Diamond Club, and you watch a game, and you're going, is no one sitting in the first 10 rows?
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, where else does that happen but in Miami? Do you see that when you watch a Boston game? You see that when you watch a Sixers game? It doesn't happen. I mean, it is crazy.
I mean, and let's remember this too.
Oh, let's go down memory lane.
At those home games,
I'm excited.
the Heat didn't exactly they weren't exactly in the game in the fourth quarter. So it's for any fan base.
So wait,
it's
you want
hard.
to leave?
No, it's listen,
Well,
Mr.
I'm talking
New York.
about the first quarter too. So no one's there in the first quarter.
We're
No one's
talking
there in the
about all
fourth quarter. When
quarters.
is someone there? I mean, they all go to the bar again during halftime and then don't get back till halfway through. I mean, really, I think your average lower level Miami Heat fan probably sees maybe a quarter and a half average per game. If you broke it down, they go halfway into the first, they watch pretty much to the second, they leave 5 minutes before to get their cocktails to beat the rush at the bar, they come back somewhere in the middle of the third, they're like, well, this game's over, and they leave by the fourth.
Yeah.
You might be right.
Yeah, I went to Club 72 at the Dolphin Stadium to go watch the Jets and Dolphins. I watched that damn thing on the TV. Why? Free drinks. Why the hell was I going to go outside?
There you go,
Even
man.
though I could yell at Tannehill and he can hear me. That was pretty good.
You can't say there's any arena in South Florida that's intimidating for the opposing team.
No. Which is unfortunate.
It's not Marlins Park.
But you know what, though? If you're not a Panthers fan, but you're a Penguins fan, or if you're a Rangers fan, go to a Panthers-Rangers game. That's intimidating for the Panthers.
for the Panthers.
Which is unfortunate.
That's unbelievable. It really is. But welcome to sports in South Florida. Well, I like this rationale. There was a little bit of debate after last night's Bucks-Celtics game on Inside the NBA. There was an argument gas prices are like right through the roof again. And if you've got a gas guzzler, it's a problem. And Kenny Smith was talking about how there's a car he didn't want to buy because it's going to cost $80 to fill it up with gas. But then Shaq says, look, dude, you're looking at this whole thing wrong. You're filling up the whole tank with $80, but here's how you save money. He said from his experience on the road, and nobody travels more than me, he's got a workaround to the problem. He said, don't wait for the gas tank to get empty because it costs more to fill it up. Instead, you'll save money by filling up the tank when it's half empty. So you spend $20 to get it from half empty to 3/4 full. That way you're spending $20 and not $80.
Oh.
I mean, it sort of makes sense to a point. It's like you're making an investment into your gas tank. You're spending the $80 originally to fill it up and then just never letting it go empty. I guess it kind of makes sense.
It kind of does in a crazy way. I mean, think about it this way. Compare it to if you, say, go to Publix or Costco. How much money do you want to spend at that point? Do you want to go to Costco and spend a couple $100s in bulk and not have to go shopping for a few weeks? Or do you want to spend $50 at Publix and get some stuff for a few days? But you know you're going to have to go back eventually and spend that money.
Well, you're wasting a lot of time.
Yeah, you are. I mean, that's the one thing. It's like he says things that make me surprised that he wasn't a football player. Because he says some things that I'm like, how did you not hit your head a lot when you were playing?
And he really wants to sit and argue this thing.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely amazing.
Is it bad that I actually do that sometimes? I just, fill up at half a tank? Because I feel like I'm saving money.
There's nothing wrong unless you're trying to justify it. Because he's looking at Kenny Smith saying, "Dude, you're spending $80 and all you got to spend is $20."
So he's arguing
but
for that.
he spent $80 for that. Well, let's say 1 week of a gas tank. Meanwhile, you spent $80 4 consecutive times.
Absolutely, the math. Yeah, pretty much everybody else is going to get it except for Shaq.
Good job, Shaq.
Got to give a quick shout out to the Marlins. Beat the Colorado Rockies 3-0 yesterday. That is their second series in a row they've won. They've won 4 out of 5 games.
Wow.
Okay,
it's happening.
I'm thinking World Series.
It's happening.
Yeah. They've got some pitchers back into the rotation, sending some guys back to the AAA. So they're getting people off the IR. Who knows what this could mean?
Derek Jeter, best owner in baseball.
Yeah, we go.
Yankees
start the parade now.
9-game win streak, so they are on fire
legit.
as well.
That right there is legit.
Yeah, that is legit. Sanchez hits his 7th home run. Didi's on fire, but boy, Stanton, he's right down the middle of the pack when it comes to Yankees home runs. I think he's stuck at 5.
Yeah.
Didi's around like 8
but at
or
least
10,
he can actually
there.
hit now at Yankee Stadium. That's what really matters.
He's getting over it a little bit, but it's still nothing to write home about.
No.
Hey, you want to check this thing out? We're on YouTube. You can also just download the podcast every single day. Go and subscribe, and then it'll download for you. So, on your way home, bam, it's going to be right there. I'll be home at night, whatever. It's always there for you.
And I'm uploading it right now, so you will get the correct podcast, which is important.
That's right.
Yes.
You will get the right podcast. You'll get it at the right time, and you can follow us on Twitter. Just look it all up, man. Kevin's Other Show.
You listened to him on the KVJ show for years. Every time he tried to talk sports, he'd get shut down. After years of begging, we finally gave in. Brought to you by Wellington Anti-Aging. Low T? Go to WellingtonAntiAging.com. And by Brayman Motor Cars in West Palm Beach, a world-class experience. Shop BraymanPorsche.com now. It's Kevin's Other Show on 640 The Hurricane.